Yes, so family is always such a big part, whether it's our born-in family or our chosen family. And with Judy and Nick, we really wanted to focus on their relationship and how their relationship evolves. This film takes place right after the first film, and so we get to see how they get to know each other, and their relationship becomes deeper, and they learn that they don't really see the world in the same way. And so as humans, we do that too, and you have that moment where you can walk away and never talk to that person again, or you can come together and make the relationship stronger. So as for why it took so long?
Yes.
Well, these films take about 4 or 5 years to make. They take a very long time. And when Byron Howard and Jared Bush, our directors, when they finished the first Zootropolis, we all started working on Encanto together, which took about 5 years. And so this took about another 4 years, so that kind of bridges the gaps between them. You know, our first film was really talking about discrimination and bias, and so we wanted to continue the story of Judy and Nick. And yes, it feels very topical today, but it's topical in the way that it was topical 20 years ago, maybe 100 years ago, and unfortunately will likely be topical in 20 years. I think the world as a whole, you know, these are issues that we deal with over and over again, and so the hope is that this will, you know, help people, bring people together to talk about differences and talk about, you know, how we see the world, and it may be different, but as long as if we work through that and actually try to understand each other, it'll help bring us together. A lot of cop buddy movies, we watched a lot of them, building in, and we talked about there's not a lot of sequels to these cop buddy movies because at the end of them, they come together and they go off, and the conflict is not always there. But for Judy and Nick, we wanted to kind of really focus on their relationship. In the first film, they were together for 2 days. And so this really is about them understanding each other and getting to know each other and finding out that they don't always see things differently. But we watched a lot of fun cop buddy movies to watch when we made this. The world of Zootopia is so fun. Zootropolis is so fun because it mirrors our human world. Going into Marsh Market, though, was a world that we created that we had no human equivalent to. And so our design team, led by Corey Loftus, who's an amazing production designer, they really got into it and started thinking of the minds of these semi-aquatic animals who live underwater and above water and what their worlds would be like. So really, it wasn't specific places that we researched, it's really about the animals and how they would live in a world that they created. I think we all need therapy. It's a moment for them to, Judy and Nick, to really look at the relationships. And if you really watch the film and listen to Dr. Fusby and what she calls out to each of them, it really is just a foreshadowing of what they learn about each other in the film. But I say all the time, making this film every day, talking about these issues in a story room was really therapy for all of us. You know, there are some really big Easter eggs in there that our directors put in there as part of telling the story, but there are many, many in there because as the film is made by all of these artists, they'll put things in there. And to this day, we watch the films, the directors and I will watch the film, and we still find, oh, I didn't see that before. Oh, I didn't read that sign before. Because so many artists, we just allow them to have fun and, you know, kind of put their stamp on it, and they'll put little surprises in there. There's a lot of hidden Mickeys in there that I haven't found yet, but I've been told are there, so I don't think we can count them, not yet. You know, part of what we do is we know we all love film, and going into this world that is with Judy and Nick, who are so beloved around the world, we knew we needed to be just as good and strive to be better than the original film, just to continue their story. So it's never easy. Making these films are never easy. This film right here is the most ambitious film we've ever made at Disney Animation, and it took every single person in the studio to help get this out. Just to add to that, we really want people to see this in the big screen because there is so much to see. There is so much detail. We have a whole department that works just on the crowds in the background, and they make up their own stories about the crowds in the background. There's so many fine details to see. Really, the only way to experience is on a very, very big screen.